Most certainly appreciate them. All right, caller, who do we have on the line?
Hello, this is Associate Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I hope you're having a good evening, sir. I want to calm the nerves of all the people out there. Everything's going to be fine, and I'm open to any questions. Of course, there is a lot of noise outside. Somebody just tried to throw a fire extinguisher through my window, but I think it just might be somebody concerned over the stroke I had 20 minutes ago.
Wow. Okay. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's almost 11 p.m. Eastern time. What are you doing up? Shouldn't you be asleep right now? You're 85 years old. How are you up so late and still able to be, have all your wits about you?
Anthony, I will tell you something. People make a big deal about my age, and people 85 years old have the right to enjoy Fortnite just as somebody 15 or under.
So you're up playing Fortnite? Is that what's going on?
Yes, I'm here playing Fortnite with my nephew, Fred, over from Philadelphia. He's actually a refugee from the Super Bowl celebrations from earlier this year. So please keep your comments sensitive as possible.
Wow. Okay, so how do you feel about Brett Kavanaugh being your fellow Associate Supreme Court Justice?
Listen, there's a lot of anxiety, needless anxiety over who gets onto the Supreme Court. And Brett Kavanaugh or Neil Gorsuch or Elena Kagan or whatever, I don't know all these people's names. The only thing important is, remember, there's a very important qualification for being the Supreme Court: knowing CPR, knowing the signs of stroke. I think that's about it. Yeah. So,
wow. Okay.
I'm sure if Mr. Kavanaugh, Justice Kavanaugh, now, if he doesn't know it yet, I'll have somebody demonstrate it for him this week.
Do you think that the whole process to get him in was kind of a circus, a dog and pony show, maybe? That he should have been able to get confirmed and all that kind of stuff earlier than what has happened?
Listen, I know that some people have been saying that there was some pretty bad stuff going down, but to be honest with you, I've been spending the past few weeks, of course, playing this game and also, watching Ozark on Netflix. So I don't know what you're talking about, Anthony.
So you're not really paying any attention to what's happening in Washington, D.C. With the Supreme Court that you're a part of?
Well, I mean, it's like you realize, Anthony, if you worked a factory floor job at Ford all day long, and you walk out into the parking lot and you watch some rust bucket, tourists out there, and you'd want to get away from it too. You want to get away from all the nonsense and everything. So I basically just punch in, punch out, and go home now. I mean, I'm just like any other American.
Okay, so you're not even really concerned. Okay, so if you're not really doing anything, you're not really working, why not just retire? You're 85 years old, you're playing Fortnite with your refugee nephew from Philadelphia. Why not just retire and enjoy the rest of your life?
Well, because nowadays, because of President Obama, I just rely on other people to make the unconstitutional laws that I can't deal with. So I've pretty much had like an easy skate the past 10 years. So it's been so easy, and I've taken up all these new hobbies. For example, last week I just made my first rainbow bread, also with Fred, my nephew, and also I went over to I got to watch my first hockey game. Of course, it was here in Washington, D.C. So obviously the popcorn, I think over there cost $45 and everything. And I get to enjoy life more, even though technically I'm at work.
So I mean, do you have to still be at work? Like, do you still have to be in the Supreme Court? Is that
the job basically does itself. So I don't see what the objection is, Anthony. I mean, do I tell you to quit your job and let somebody else do it?
Well, I mean, look, if I had a job to do and I wasn't really doing it, I'm just playing Fortnite, going to hockey games and stuff like that, I feel like I should kind of step aside and let somebody in there that's going to actually do some work, maybe.
Look, Anthony, I mean, you have to remember, I have a very stellar legal career going back to the late 1950s. And the fact of the matter is that despite all that, oh God!
All right, now be careful now. I don't want to have you. I don't want to have you pass away.
Hillary's clammy hand on my shoulder here. Sorry. Oh, that was a real scare there. Good thing they threw that fire extinguisher into here. Excuse me, but anyway, so I have a long, distinguished judicial career, and the fact is that most of my opinions don't even concern actual case law or any constitutional provisions or anything. So to tell you the truth, I could just have some chimp, as I do, type up all of my opinions, and it pretty much gets done. And I'm surprised all the other justices haven't caught up to my method.
Well, I think everybody else wants to actually, do their job rather than just kind of phoning it in. But I think that maybe
that sounds very un-American, if I may say so, sir.
Hey, what's un-American is not doing your job, but judging by that cough, you may not actually last too long. So what are you going to do what happens if you just happen to not be able to work anymore? I mean, do you think that there should be somebody in there that's a conservative to replace you, maybe?
I don't really know. I guess based on the fact that I have all of these land whales like Amy Schumer that idolize me, that think that I'm the vision of liberalism. Maybe people just haven't been listening to me all of these years. They just think you see, Anthony, the truth is that a lot of people think that being on the Supreme Court, you get to just impose the things that you think on everybody. And I'm just one of 9 people. So people just don't understand the real role and function of the Supreme Court. And that's why you have mindless airheads always doing things like making movies about me and wearing stupid T-shirts with my wrinkled, haggy face on them. And, I even saw an action figure of me. And the truth is that I, like every other person in America, wants to just, do the whole thing where you do the Fortnite dance with where your arms swing back and forth. And I think that that's something that brings together conservatives, liberals, fascists, communists. Everybody wants to do that. I'm pretty sure you probably want to do that right now, sitting in your chair doing this live stream.
I really don't want to do that, but I'm going to get to a few more calls and let you get some shut-eye so you can get up in the morning and get ready for Monday so you can do some actual work.
All right. Well, I know that my nephew Fred has something else to say about that. He might call in sick from school. So good night from Auntie Ruthie here.
All right, now take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg for the call. That was really her. It wasn't a troll or anybody trying to pretend to be her. That was her for real. So people in the chat saying it's a troll. No, that was really her. All right. Let me get to my next call.